Madam President, we would like to thank the Special Representative of the Secretary General, Valentina Rugwabiza, for her briefing to the Security Council, and we'd like to congratulate her on her appointment to this post. We carefully listened to Ms. Lina Ekomo. We welcome the representative of the CAR to this meeting. In our opinion, the situation in the Central African Republic is relatively stable and is broadly under the control of the government forces. Work is underway in the country to ensure the presence of the state and to strengthen administrative structures. The Khartoum Agreement of 2019 is still the basis for achieving stability and security in the CAR. We advocate the parties upholding the ceasefire announced in October 2021 by President Touadéra. We welcome the holding in Bangui of the most recent round of the Republican dialogue, which adds organically to the Khartoum Agreement. We urge those groups who are not on board with the peace process to stop the unnecessary bloodshed and to engage in genuine dialogue with the authorities. We are convinced that there is no other option but to settle the situation in the country through diplomatic means. An important stage in further improving the security situation in the country is the launch on the initiative of the CAR government of the coordination mechanism with the participation of the UN. Its first meeting took place in Bangui on the 14th of April. The UN stabilization mission in the CAR must play an important role in providing security in the country given the functions conferred upon peacekeepers, inter alia encountering IAFs, in the protection of civilians. We are pleased to note the positive changes in the interaction between MINUSCA and Bangui. We have unfailingly underscored the constructive relations of a mission with the host country authorities is the guarantee for the success of the work of peacekeepers. It's also important for Blue Helmets to focus on their main tasks. These include assisting the reconciliation process, restoring the state presence in the regions of the country, and protecting civilians. Madam President, Russia is consistently trying to achieve a loosening of the current arms embargo against the CAR, right up to its full lifting. Similar positions in the UN Security Council have been put forth by African representatives of the AU and the ICGLR. The most important thing is that the Central Africans themselves constantly talk about this. This is because these weapons are required by the CAR security forces to fight illegal armed formations, IAFs, which, as we see, have regular channels of supply of arms. We are fully convinced that a sanction regime should not hamper the efforts of the government to counter armed groups. And right now, it absolutely definitely does hamper them. From our side, we are consistently assisting Bangui to strengthen the military capabilities of its official security structures, having informed the UN Security Council Sanctions Committee 2127. We've provided to the CAR several batches of military-grade equipment on the invitation of the legitimate Central African Republic authorities. Russian instructors are working successfully in the country. Russia strictly complies with the restrictions imposed on it by the Security Council regarding the CAR. We'd underscore that the choice of partner in any particular area, in particular when we're talking about the services of private military companies, is the prerogative of national authorities. We, furthermore, do not deem it appropriate that there is a reference in the SG's report on events in Ukraine as the cause of the food and energy crisis in the CAR. Negative trends of recent years in these areas are linked primarily with blunders and systematic mistakes in macroeconomic, energy and food policies made by Western states. Something which played its part undoubtedly was the COVID-19 pandemic, as a result of which food supply chains were disrupted. Furthermore, the situation got significantly worse because of the imposition in February and March this year of illegal unilateral restrictions against Russia. In the context of discussing the socio-economic situation in the Central African Republic, We are concerned by the freezing of direct budget support of external donors. This situation runs the real risk of exacerbating the situation in the country and threatens the achievements over recent years that have been made in the area of national reconciliation. Madam President, in conclusion, we would like to touch upon a number of statements made by some Security Council colleagues that are using absolutely any opportunity to talk about Russia. In this regard, I'd like to underscore that over recent years, the Central African Republic managed to make significant progress in the area of stabilizing the country, getting the country out of an ongoing cycle of instability. That's a clear fact. The progress is such that right now, the issue of lifting the arms embargo is more pertinent than ever. That is something that is supported not just by the CAR, but also by the the countries in the region, by the African Union and others. As the A3 said, the African countries stand in solidarity with Bangui. The main role in achieving these results, of course, was played by the inhabitants of the CAR themselves. They demonstrated resolve, rather the leadership of the CAR played a key role, but also bilateral partners and the UN played a very key role as well. Russian assistance also made a significant contribution, and our friends in Bangui recognize this. That is the main point. There are still a lot of problems that need to be tackled, and we are prepared to cooperate on them. Given this background, the smear campaign, and in particular in the statement made by the US, shows what and on whom the focus is and the main attention of Washington is on. And it's not the CAR. It's not a settlement of the situation in the country. It is not on improving the situation. And that is very saddening. Many people in the world are still expecting the US to conduct a responsible policy, but unfortunately, we just don't see this at all. Thank you.
I thank the representative of Russian Federation for their statement.